All right, hello everyone, and welcome to a special Thursday night stream. We are doing a special run to be a submission run for the Fall Fantasy VI. We have SabreWolf and LunarChimera running tonight. A very special set of flags, getting ready for that fundraiser this fall. That is benefiting trans life. We've got some really special flags, but one of the biggest things we're doing tonight that's going to be unique is we are hunting dragons. It's the year of the dragon, so why not hunt dragons? We got some crazy flags. They're going to really push these players and make them have to think. One of those is that we have to kill 5 dragons to unlock KT, and they can be anywhere. We're going to have a mandatory opera house. So we are going to see the opera house tonight. We're going to see we're going to see some items popping up in different places. The gold, when they go to do this in the fall, is going to be randomized based on the amount donated. So please get your donations ready to go. And we're going to have a good time with these runners and good time with this race tonight. So I'm really looking forward to this. The dragons and the bosses are mixed together and are scaled, so that'll be a fun. That'll be fun because this is a dragon hunt. They're going to have to search. They're going to have to consider where they're going. They're not. This setting will not take it easy on them, which I definitely like knowing that they're going to be pushed. I am Vincent RTA, and I will soon be joined by Sid. I'm really looking forward to these two runners. I've seen both of them play quite a bit. I usually do a lot of commentary in the Super Metroid world, but this is the randomizer I play the most. So I am deeply familiar with this, and of my favorite games of all time, this is definitely number 1 with Super Metroid 2. So, and even my favorite villain of all time is easily Kefka, which, by the way, tonight we're going to also see quite a few different sprites. So we've went with kind of things are going to be a little bit fuzzy all night. So we've got some, all the sprites except for Magyumar are going to be their furry equivalent. So we're going to see, we're just going to see all kinds of different characters popping up. And by characters, I don't mean Final Fantasy characters. I mean completely different characters everywhere. So looking forward to them starting this race, and we will rock, and it'll be a good time.
Yeah, and this is your restreamer, One Free Fits, pushing the buttons back here. I have kicked them off, so they will be getting started shortly. Back to you, Vincent.
Sounds good. All right, we are underway. And you can see we got a furry character starting off. So we got Edgar, Mao, Mog, and Gao for SabreWolf. Lunar's immediately going to check in. We're going to South Figaro, which with Edgar in lead, great place to go. Means all of our shops are going to be half off. There's nothing better than half price, except for free 99. That's our favorite shopping price, but doubt we see that. Ooh, nice Genji glove there in the chest. We got Saber going into Albrook right away. So we're going to start to see some of those sprites. And Saber said he was going to do this. Check out. Look at all these characters we got. We got Yoshis everywhere. All our soldiers are going to be Yoshis all night. We got a Yoshi Cafe. We got Tails. We got Bowser. We're going to get a fun mix of sprites. There's a Mog just hanging out. And there's a Chocobo. All right. We did see LunarChimera get a Genji glove there. That's always a great early find. Definitely something that's going to help. Oh, but an Aegis shield there for Saber. That's easily one of the best defensive shields. Oh, we got a cat hood for sale there in Albrook Armor Shop. The dreaded empty chests. Definitely settle in and make sure you are ready to rock. This is going to be is going to be a fun run. This is going to take some time, and it will be completely worth it. But hey, look at that. Buckler selling for 3K because all the item prices are kind of scaled. And we just saw an example of seeing some outstanding items. Hey, we got our found our dried meat location, so that's knocked out of the way, and definitely good to see early when we've got Gao in the party. Knock out one of those checks. As both these players are executing their shopping world tour. Saber's now going to go into World of Ruin South Figaro. We'll see what goodies we get, but starts off with a nothing burger. If you haven't seen, if you don't follow these runners, make sure you give them a follow. They both stream this game fairly often. I've definitely seen both of them run and know them both from the community. They'll be putting on a good show for us tonight, so give them that support they deserve. Wolf was thinking about that for a second. I planning on probably getting a couple of item heals right now just because. That was a dragon horn there from the box in World of Ruin. And a hyper wrist. There is just some high quality items popping up. Yeah, that's the first time I think I've ever seen someone sneak in the back way to the downstairs area. That's new for me. Ooh, look at that. Saber just found an Atma weapon. That's an item you're never sad to find anywhere in the game. Anywhere in the game. Yep, Saber's just doing this full run backwards, which I guess with that shopping routing he took through town, this makes complete sense because there's a lot less backtracking. So tonight the 3 characters are randomized, but when they go to run this at the event, you will see characters that everyone is able to bid on who they're going to start with. Also, if you haven't seen, Saber is perfectly wide a couple of characters, and we've seen you've seen them change. There you go. He's going to do it again. The Y remove is set to mascot, so it's going to change the sprites to one of those other fun characters. And Lunar, meanwhile, is knocking out this opera house early. Gotta love it. One of the classic scenes in this amazing game. Saber's definitely being very careful about what he's selling, making sure that he's fully prepared with items and doesn't make any mistakes. When you're early in a seed, you definitely every item is precious. Everything you have is incredibly important. You don't want to potentially lose something or sell something and immediately regret it. You'll have, instead of buyer's remorse, massive seller's remorse. Definitely not something we want in this game. I will mention eventually Sid will be joining for comms. Is running a little bit behind tonight, but we'll be here. You won't just have to listen to me all night. Saber going back for those dragon boots, which I completely agree with since we found a dragon horn. You know, that is easily one of the best aggro combos you can have. See, and Lunar made this choice to go do the Opera House early. I almost kind of think I would want to do this a little bit later, just because I want to maybe push through and then use this Opera House time maybe as a time to kind of think ahead of what I'm going to be doing, what my plan is. Oh my gosh, I removed the Yoshi riding the mech, which is amazing. Seeing Yoshi riding something is extra funny, and it turned into a floating Mog. Yes, Tails is going wild while Celis is singing at the opera. This is great. Yep, Saber is not going to be sad. Yeah, and Y mascot is the our Y remove, which is why we just got a Mog riding a chocobo. Dragon horns are actually for sale as well. Okay. So horn and boots. So if you wanted to go all in on recreating Final Fantasy IV and just jumping all day, you absolutely could. Some of the other flags in here, we have a 2.5 scaling based on checks alone. Dream, Doma Dream for the Sword Tech fill, the Magitech Factory for releasing Magitech. As I said, the shop prices are randomized. Dead checks are going to be high item rewards. Chests, this will be fun. Chests are going to be a 1% boss. And Saber said that in testing, he has, in fact, ran into a spicy chicken while running. Oh, and hey, look, we got Setzer joining the party. Models will throw a little bit of gambling into our mix. And I do have to point out and love the fact that Saber has the red menu, and we've got Lunar on the blue. So we've got the classic red versus blue matchup going on. Yes, every chest, there's a chance for danger. As one Free Fits who's in chat, who is also our taking care of our restream for the race. I want to thank him for making that happen. And to Chrono, who is taking care of our tracking, which anyone who does comms ever or watches, the trackers really are the MVP of what happens. There is so much going on in these, and the trackers, they have to stay on top of it and be prepared to keep everyone informed and keep those visuals up there so we know exactly what's going on. These are 4 characters. I think if I'm looking at my checks, I'm probably pretty happy about this mix. Speaking of, Setzer giving us Terra. Woo! I don't care that she's a sketch. What I do care about is the checks that just opened. I was gonna say Edgar. I always love his checks because it's you are gonna take when you go into the when you go into the underground in the castle, you get both the statue check and you get a dragon fight. But I mean, we know the dragons are mixed in here, but Edgar's got those 3 kind of back-to-back-to-back checks that are really nice. But better than that is Terra, who gives us Floating Continent as a check. It gives us Welk, Narsh River, which I used to hate, but I realized Narsh River is actually, or sorry, Let River. Let River is actually kind of okay because you can go grab some of that early experience. I just have a nightmare from remembering early on where I got locked into Let River with a Magi Master at the end, so there was no escape, much like the Phantom Train, no escape. And Lunar did get a Phantom Esper there, so we got our first Esper collected. Got that from that Gao check. Gotta love having that early. Obviously one of the most free checks there is. Although Terra's check is better than free, and it's item rich. There goes that Moogle Charm, and SabreWolf making the same play. Not so important in this will be the character or Esper count, because the checks are the checks to open KT are a little bit different. We got to have those five dragons down, but there is a safety where if we hit 30 checks, it will unlock KT as a backup. Just because we don't want to put ourselves where we have to find some terrible checks. I know in a couple times in a dragon hunt in the past, I actually had to go into Kefka's tower pre-check. Oh, speaking of, there's one of those monsters in a box. Ooh, Lunar has... Okay, Lunar does get the escape. Good. That's ooh, and finds an Atma weapon for that trouble. 1%, and Lunar gets hit twice in this area. Woof. Preemptive attack. Oh, unfortunately misses that. Oh, I love that Gao has Blitz and is Bowser. So we got a blitzing Bowser. Saber is trying to figure out exactly what he wants to do with his character setup. All right, we got Flare on that Esper. Always love learning Flare. And these stupid frogs that go invisible, always annoying. But we do wake them up, and this Hummel is going to do some damage. Oh yeah, the jumping frogs, leaping frogs. They shouldn't call them reach frogs. Reach is that's a reach of a name. They should be called the leaping frogs. And Saber is going to go right for the Esper Cave, which I really like this. We're going to get that very rich storehouse. A number of times I've just hit jackpot by going down here because there's so many chests. That said, we know there is danger for hitting. There's danger for hitting monsters down here. But so far, so good. Just offering. All right. We've got some winners there. Immediately switches Edgar over to offering with that hyper wrist. So Edgar is definitely good at swinging. So probably a very good plan there to get some of that early damage in. Gonna just yeet out and not do the check, or just taking the save, which I can. Yep, okay, gonna take off. Lunar's doing one of the Mog checks. Now we've got this usually normal Moogle fight. Seeing that Y remove turn the soldier into a chocobo before bringing us in. I love that the tails turned into the ball there for a second when crouching, and here comes that monster in a box that Saber's going to see, and I assume going to do the same running. Hopefully gets away here. Yeah, just going to play it safe and throw up that warp stone, which will get them out of there immediately. I completely agree with that. The last thing you want to do is leave yourself in trouble. And here comes that other monster in a box. And here's the Reach Frogs, which now we have a preemptive attack, but I don't disagree with taking this fight at all for either player, taking this Reach Frog fight, because we are so early. Getting any kind of experience here is nothing but beneficial especially as we take some of the free checks where we're gonna be raising the level of the bosses. So we want to stay ahead of that curve, or at least be on track with it as much as possible. Edgar with the backup health is really nice to have some extra healing here. That's a skill I'm never sad to see. Kind of fitting for Saber to have used the Phantom Esper there and go individual frogs, but decided to nope out. I'm not as confident he's going to be able to get through with that problem sitting there. But now it's a matter of deciding, okay, what am I going to follow this up with? I've got the wolf check. I've got I'm here with Mog. I can go back and check out Kefka and Narsh. If I'm here doing the lone wolf check anyway, I'm pretty sure that I want to do the Kefka and Narsh while I'm back there. We do see that there's nothing popped up there, so we're not going to get we're not going to find a character if we get a Lumaro check. Ooh. Haydn. Running into Haydn. Definitely not so happy to see that here. Right now, Saber's just looking for a way. Meanwhile, Lunar found Katana Soul. This is definitely a win that you want, because that will give that ever useful and amazing offering. And the more of those you have, the more you want. You can see everyone as they're crouched. We got some different sprites there. Got a Bowser shell. Yeah, unfortunately that reset seems right from Saber here. I feel like this fight that Lunar's taking is winnable. That health from Edgar is a huge help here. That's something that's going to potentially carry them through this fight. Katana Soul's never a pushover. Always a very potentially challenging fight. Yeah, this area through Narsh. This is definitely this is something that Saber's going to want to make the most of this time here, and because he's got Terra, because we've got so many checks available in this area, and if we can knock them all out early, it's going to make life a lot easier. Oh, just going to go right for that flame shield to crack into Hayden's face. I don't dislike that at all. Just going right for it. Now we've got a zombie Bowser. This feels especially rough with just like 70, 80, 60, 70, 80 health. Yeah. That feels like a very uphill battle right now. Right now, Saber's rethinking life choices and is going to nope out of here. Okay. Well. Up. Instead, we are going to get, for the memes, a second Opera House run. Meanwhile, Lunar sees that Terra, sees a sketching Terra, which not the most exciting thing, but Stray with some Bolt 3. Definitely a spell we love learning early. Terra, of course, is one of the best natural magic power characters. Yep, you have a second Opera. Well, again, Tails is running rampant on the other side. Lunar, after taking some of the fights that they have coming up here now, has this Lone Wolf already triggered. I feel like this timing is probably good here. Going to give a much better shot of pushing through this. MC going right for that same check. I'm going to see that Hayden. But definitely not trying to stand out on his own because he's hiding. Pre-apologize for any puns that I'll throw out tonight. I am in fact a former high school band director, so bad jokes were kind of our thing, and puns for sure. My students loved and hated me. Flare is a spell I'm never sad to see. And yeah, we're just seeing the advantage of Lunar's taking a few of those fights and has really, just the power level increase by just taking a few fights is more than enough. I'm pretty sure Lunar's going to push through this check. Yeah, 2.5 scaling is not a joke, because you're going to be chasing your tail, which I use purposely right now with Tails in the mix. You're going to be chasing that scaling the entire time if you're not ahead of that curve. Definitely something you want to adjust for and not let yourself fall way behind on. And does get the crack, and Lunar gets through that check. We'll see what the reward is, but that's definitely a win there you want to get. Gets another Magicite out of the mix. Always happy to see that. This is one of those times in your hair you wish you had Locke in the starting party, because this would be a great time to just randomly also be able to walk back there and get the other item from the shop basement. But all the sprite damage going on there with that poison, but no reason to really worry about it when you got a bucket to walk to, and you're gonna take that heal and save. And now I assume we're gonna go check that Lone Wolf and see what we're looking at. All right, we got a high shield. We'll see what that turned into. Thunder shield. Okay. That's a nice way to teach Terra some magic, but Terra's already learning Bolt 3, so Bolt 2 is not as exciting. What sprite are we going to see? We have a wolf. There's a lone wolf. And what furry character is that? Oh, look at who that is. That is our second favorite system of the time. A hero, and look, we've got Sonic and Tails together. How fitting that we get that moment. Speaking of Let River, we've got Sabre making the Let River trip, which I don't hate this at all. This helps us with that leveling curve. And look who we've got there. This is one I was warned about and told about and was super excited for. We've got, in my opinion, the second best Super Nintendo game's true villain, Ridley. Kefka is Ridley with his Yoshi army. Just misses that pass there on the level 70 and 50 magic. Okay. Yeah, this looks like let me yeet out of here. Not going to love getting poisoned. Oh, Mog just dodges that poison. Okay. You best be frozen. Nope. Gets out of there. All right. Good. Oh, another fight. Yeah, Lunar's in kind of a rough spot here. Gonna want to get out of this as fast as possible. Not gonna want to be stuck here. All right. At least gets through there. Oh, and Cactrot. Okay. Well, if we have that Atma weapon equipped, we can probably take this down. And this, yeah, I'd see some healing going on. Good opportunity to just take advantage of. Unless you get, unless you catch a bunch of needles in the face, which wouldn't be good. All right. Sketch Blowfish on Cactrot to finish him off. A great moment for that. That's a lot of magic points immediately. Yeah, and we see Terra pick up a bunch of spells right away. Saber's not getting luck with these fights, having double retainer. That fight is never one you want to see because that roulette can just, insta doom you.
You know, Lunar is getting a gift.
Yes, this is like, if you're gonna choose a boss to have a Kefka and Narsh, it's either this or the Knight, and I will take this all day. Not gonna complain about this at all. Yeah, leader or this, that's where you want to be. And that was Chrono, our tracker, helping, and is gonna, we'll every once in a while, if I go astray as he's tracking this race, he will get me back in line. There's so many checks and so much information in this game. All right, well, and Saber, who does Saber get? Got the ghost train. Okay. I'm working on flags for an archipelago run soon, where suplexing the train is going to be it's going to unlock all blitzes. All right, we see the train crack very quickly as undead. As you can tell, the undead flag is on. You can in fact get them. Oh, and look what we've got there. We had a Pac-Man ghost there, because all the ghost sprites in this game and this time around are going to be Pac-Man ghosts. So if we get to see a Phantom Train, we will see all the Pac-Man love. Drawing from some of the better games of all time, with Metroid showing up, with Sonic, with Pac-Man, the classics showing up in this run. All right, so Saber's going to check out the Coliseum, which, as you can see, X potion into Minerva, Ninja Star into Minerva. Oh, he sold that Ninja Star earlier, so regretting that sale now. Seller's remorse. Oh, never mind. Does still have it. This is a time I would badly want my Yeti, because I love having the Yeti for these fights. Having the Yeti around and have the Yeti with an offering and like a Valiant knife to just clear this up or something, or at my weapon or something, just clear up these fights. But they got that Phantom cast, which is huge. Definitely helping here. And now we got Lunar. Got Shadow and is now doing the Floating Continent. Another one of those areas where you're going to get plenty of fights and take plenty of... going to get a lot of growth through here. But now, gets that Minerva. Easily the best defensive item or second best defensive item in the game, behind the Paladin Shield. And Terra is now Elemental Invincible. All right. Saber's checking Daryl's tomb here. While Lunar's still in this run right up to the Floating Continent. We'll get knocked off and we'll see that boss fight soon. I can imagine Saber at this point, at the 36 mark, is probably feeling like maybe this isn't this hasn't been definitely hasn't been the best start, and it's probably trying to think now, okay, what can I do to make up some time? Like, might have to take a risk here somewhere along the way, just kind of hoping you can make up for something, because definitely time lost on having to reset a couple times. All right, Daryl's tomb is the unicorn Esper. And we've got the tentacle fight. Yeah, I think right now we're just seeing the issue here where Saber did not get a lot of XP early, but this a Phantom Esper right now is really clutch against all that seizing, because they just will not see them. So not going to be able to grab them and pick them up and lock them out of the battle for a while. So that's a very nice strategy right now. And Lunar is going to get Rexol. Casting that 3rd level elemental spell of Bolt, dropping that lightning right on the head of that very annoying boss. Thankfully, the flags are a little different here, so not as big of a problem. But yeah, unfortunately, we do see a couple of the characters have been unmasked from their Phantom, and yeah, now they're both grabbed and both down. Very frustrating. Had a really nice thing going there.
It's tough in Tentacle Town.
Yeah, the tentacles can be very annoying if you aren't completely prepared for that fight. And even if you have a very strong elemental spell, they all have some different weaknesses. So it might only damage 3 out of the 4 of them, and you're healing the 4th. So it makes for something you have to plan very well for. Definitely don't love having poison right now with that low health points we're at, but does get everyone standing up. And I probably want to trigger that and get that health ready as soon as possible.
Oh, the hero.
Lunar does make it down there, and we got Sabin, an X-Magic Sabin. That is not the best. That is a character who does have a very low magic power, high strength power. So not the best ability to see there. But does bring us a bunch of very good checks. We could see that we'll very likely see the Phantom Train. For me, I know when I have Phantom Train, I always take a quick I park at the bottom and just go look and see if it's worth it or not. Unfortunately, SabreWolf took a reset there. This fight's probably just outside of the realm right now. Yeah, we're really seeing Saber struggle with not having that early extra experience that Lunar got by fighting through that Reefrog fight and taking a couple of those Kefka and Narsh fights, and now is experience-wise just in complete command and able to finish the checks right now. And obviously coming to here to Floating Continent, this is a big one. This is a difficult map to get all the way through unscathed, especially when you're very low health-wise. But level 24, definitely SabreWolf showing off that Y remove. Yep, there we go. Turning creating some chocobos for us, creating memories.
And we have a skull dragon.
Here we go. So, as I said earlier, it is the year of the dragon. We've got 5 dragons in our way. We have to kill 5 dragons to get to Kefka's tower. So, this is one of them. This brings us closer. We are 20% of the dragon way there. But as a safety backup, in case we can't find dragons, if nothing's going right, players can move on with 30 total checks.
This is the first dragon, I think, and ammo weapon as well. It's very spicy.
Yeah, that's a couple of kind of big bosses showing up on the screen at once. This is a fight that Saber really needs right now. Saber absolutely needs this, needs that experience, needs that that leveling to get a little bit, get ahead of this curve, or just not feel as far behind.
This is a tight one.
Oof.
Come on.
You can do it. Thankfully, Edgar did not attack. Oh, there we go.
Right
there
now.
we go.
There we go.
Got out of the spin, and the first dragon is down. And now I am joined in the booth by Sid. Sid, welcome. Glad you're able to make it after dealing with some unfortunate traffic on the way home. All right, well, Sid gets her mic ready to go. We've got Saber still dealing with Atma weapon here. Lunar was able to take down that dragon. That's a big XP boost, a big progression boost here. So probably feeling pretty good, but you never know, because if there's anything I've learned about these kinds of races is that you never know when you are the one in the lead or the one behind. And there is Ridley again, standing there next to Gestal and these statues.
I will say Saber is a little bit behind. We're looking at the Lunar. He's at 7, 6, and 1, which is looking pretty good. Oh, well, this is going to be a hard fight.
Yep, we've only seen one dragon so far. Definitely not where we want, not where we want to be in the long run. But I think with the number of checks we've got, with where we're at, seeing the one now is good. As a reminder, we need 5 dragons down to open KT, or 30 checks, whichever we reach first. Yeah, and these fights are all cake for Lunar right now. None of these are really a big challenge. But Saber is definitely putting up a battle here against Atma Weapon. Can always be a surprisingly tough battle, regardless of the level you're carrying in. And with Saber already a low level, this is a tough fight as is.
Well, now we know that we don't deal with Atma Weapon. KT.
Nope, not a fight we normally have. And I think I mentioned Leader before, didn't I? Look who we've got showing up now. It is, in fact, Leader. This is like about the second most one of the happiest ones you're going to see. Yeah, as Chad is mentioning, there is a level cap of 50 on this, so it can climb. So even where Lunar is, things could spiral out of control quickly. You never know what could happen, what things could turn into. You just got to make sure that you are thinking about what your best check is in the situation, what your thought process is. And we just saw, very important for Saber, did get through that check, did get through that Atma weapon fight, just through perseverance, by not giving up. Exactly what we need to do to get through that situation.
I want to say this is empty check. I don't remember though.
Saber didn't go check those chests, which I'm kind of surprised about. We know there's an Atma weapon in there that maybe he's just holding it for the moment.
Oh, look at that move. I've never done that.
Lunar's checking out this whole camp as we see a camp full of Yoshis and Ridley.
I'm a silly goose. I was on push to talk this entire time.
All right. Well, now we are joined by Sid. Sid, welcome in. Now that the mic situation is arranged.
Just pulling my hair out. Like, I can see audio going. Looking in the mixer. No, it's good now. I just didn't have the setting right.
Welcome now.
Here. Ice shields.
It's nice to already have one dragon down by 50 minutes in.
Yes, with us needing 4 more. If you haven't had a chance to check out the flags, we do need 5 to get through.
Mm-hmm.
We did have a mandatory opera house, which both players have checked off the list, and 30 checks at absolute worst if need be, and then all these fun sprites all the way through. Everyone will be some furry character, so lots of fun going on.
There's spicy KT.
I appreciate a good 30 check safety blanket for dragon hunts.
Yes, I've definitely been in dragon hunts where I exhausted all my checks except for not thinking, oh, hey, I can actually go fight the first few things at Kefka's tower. Dang it. And literally our last dragon we needed was in fact in Kefka's tower.
Those Yoshis are adorable, by the way.
They really are. The sprite plan for this is great. We got Yoshi, we got Ridley as we got the second best villain, because Mother Brain just really isn't really, Ridley's the real villain of Super Metroid. So the second best game villain, replacing the best game villain of all time.
I mean, if you just go by density of how often Ridley appears versus Mother Brain in Metroid games.
Yes.
Clearly.
Yes. Well, and Ridley is just, Ridley's a jerk. Like, the Mother Brain fight's always pretty easy. Ridley's the one that he's so hard they had to give his body 2 AIs to one for the tail and one for the body, just to add extra elements of difficulty. Oh, hey, look. We've got a
Dragon number
second
2.
dragon. And that Terra must be wearing that Thunder Shield for Lunar and just ignores all that bolt damage. Meanwhile, we know that Saber does have Minerva on his that he got at that got at the Coliseum by pawning off that Ninja Star. Completely worth that fight for that item. We got some really nice damage for Lunar right now. Gao casting this flare, just at this point in the race, having 1,800 damage right now coming out of your characters. It's solid and gonna give you a good opportunity to push through these battles.
It's an interesting play going to the Coliseum on a long flag like Dragon set. Usually you kind of get loaded up with items accidentally. So good heads up there.
Well, I think one of the concerns is because we do have a 1% monster in a box, and it can be bosses. Saber did say that he caught a spicy chicken in a box once. So, and just checking at least checking the Coliseum, I think is okay. And seeing that it, because if you see something like, for example, Minerva, and you can get a Minerva, that you're always going to take that opportunity to get that item. Mm-hmm. Especially when you've got Terra in your party. Yeah, and all the rewards are visible in these flags. So,
that makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
if you can see everything. Yeah,
yeah, and that's definitely a good reason to go make that check because you can see it all, and just got to toss a Ninja Star into a Minerva, and Lunar is now 40% of the Dragon Hunt way there, has Gold Dragon down. 2 out of 5 dragons dead for Lunar.
See what's at the Senior Behemoth.
Yes, and we get through this first one. We already saw a train catch an item and get woken up and take a long dirt nap. So what we did not get, and I am a little disappointed now that I think about it, is we do have a blitzing character in that mix, and we did not see a train get suplexed.
I'm pretty sure that's against the law in Worlds Collide.
To me, there are 2 things that make any Worlds Collide run valid. Finding the heel rod, just because, and suplexing a train. Before you hopped in, I mentioned that I'm putting together an archipelago run with some people in my Discord community, and to unlock all blitzes will be suplexing the auto unlock all blitzes will be suplexing a train. So thought that was kind of fitting.
It can happen. Do you have the Phantom Train revisit flag on for that?
No, that's a flag I haven't been able to explore a lot of the flags. My professional life had me incredibly busy the last few years, and I purposely changed my situation just to bring my stress life, the stress level in my life down a little bit, and now I'm in a much better place, and I'm gonna have time to check out some more of the flags because I know a lot. Oh no, we got level 4 flared. It takes a rough there. That may be one to just maybe. I don't know.
From that. Because you get your characters, it's not a reset.
Yes.
You can take some fights.
Well,
it's a weird one.
What I'm thinking is if we can heal up, if we can get back in. Edgar has health. We could potentially retrain. Okay, we gotta shuffle some Moogles.
Move the Moogles.
But Edgar can heal us up, and if we do that, we're gonna be off that level 4.
Yeah, just these mandatory fights, they'll be fine.
Yeah, and we saw he moved Edgar down to the bottom to get that priority up. And yeah, these are some big XP fights here in this cave, so we get through Saber's able to do this, it'll be a big catch up. But the problem here and what I'm worried about is he's gonna have to clear up a lot of these. Otherwise, we're gonna reach the we're gonna reach the down Moogle, and that's lights out on this time through. So gonna have to be efficient and get some work done. Meanwhile, Lunar's up against number 24. This should not be an incredibly difficult fight. This is one where we know flare, so I just be flaring this and ignoring all of that damage.
Watching intently. There's a little bit of YOLO tactics going on LunarChimera's side.
All right. Well, this is a big help that Saber does have Fire Dance, and we know these are enemies that can take some serious damage from that spell. So a couple of those should get him through. Oh, it takes a hit. Meanwhile, we had a critical card throw. Gotta love that.
Oh,
and we got
Just a party full of imps. Just about every single Sonic character in the mix here.
yes.
Magitech Lock.
Magitech Lock. Oof.
Yeah.
Well, forget the character. Big key here is now we can go check to see what our unlock time is on Paladin Shield. We can check the tunnel armor is a pretty quick check that also brings us by some chests if we want to go check it. Phoenix Cave is at least two more. That's both a dragon. Granted, it won't necessarily be a dragon, but that's two more checks that open up. And with us looking at 30 checks, even if we don't hit the dragons, that's still a good opportunity to rush through and get towards this goal. And Saber is cleaning up these beasts as fast as possible.
An hour into the seed, would you even bother for working on a curse shield, or just take it just because it's a freebie while you're there, getting the check counter down lower, doing locks free checks?
I think because yes, it's an hour into the seed, but also knowing that we're on a dragon hunt, potentially looking at 30 checks, I think you still grab it because the likelihood of you unlocking it is probably going to be a lot higher than if we were in a typical race setting where at this point we're in the late game. So, we're really in the, and especially for Saber who's had a rough start, we're definitely in the mid game.
Mm-hmm.
Or, so I think it's still worth grabbing here.
Looks like Lunar's play is upgrade MTech immediately. Assuming that flag's on. I believe it is.
Yes, that is one of the flags is MTech is finishing Magitech Factory. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the Doma Dream for Sword Tech.
I was really kind of harsh on Sword Tech for the longest time, and I think I'm coming around to it.
It's one I haven't really used a lot, so I probably need to revisit it and see whether or not that could or should work into my mix. Oh, mama. Oh, gotta love seeing that sword.
Some cheap Ragnaroks.
Right. 2,000 GP for a Ragnarok. That oof.
Just buy 30 of them.
I
Throw
buy
them.
30 of them.
You'll find a throw person.
Just yeet all the Ragnaroks. That's Atma and that are easily tied for my two favorite weapons in the game. that non-elemental hit is so important.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't feel like you're really cooking physically until you get an Atma weapon or a Valiant Knight in the mix.
Oh, for sure. Well, I mean, I'm always thinking as I'm running, like, how am I going to take sleep down in that third tier of the Kefka fight? Like, what's my quickest way to deal with that? Because obviously that you have to deal with that before you can deal with anything else. And before you throw up your calmness protection on that third tier, which if we get calmness, we just lose a character going in. And obviously we're not trying to lose anything, especially the 4 characters that are our main by the time we get to Kefka's Tower, are the ones we've spent our most time and effort on building up. Not something we can want to or afford to lose. All right, Saber does get through this check. Amen.
Second time's a try.
Yes. And Behemoth Suit is never an item I'm sad to pick up. That's one of the best physical reduction armors in the game.
Easily top 4. Honestly, probably top 3.
What do we think of Minerva, Behemoth Suit, and Snow Muffler?
Yep. In that order, probably. Well, maybe Snow Muffler, but
Snow Muffler probably second. Yeah, like they're both amazing armors. Like really between Snow Muffler but Snow Muffler has some of that magic damage mitigation, which maybe just puts it a little bit ahead.
Mm-hmm. I know if I had Atma weapon users, I'd much rather them have a Snow Muffler than even a Minerva.
Yes. And although obviously the best thing they can have is a Paladin shield with a Behemoth Suit, because then they just never get hit, ever.
A true ninja at that point.
Ooh, Strength +2 Esper.
Yeah, the levels are still low enough for that to
it
make a fairly large dent.
Yeah, it only 19 right now. That's about to hopefully hit some more boss checks here. Lunar is a pretty decent distance ahead, though. Does have 2 dragons down.
It's a shame we don't have a check count on the center.
Yeah, that would be. I think that's something maybe as we look into this run a little bit more for the fundraiser, that would be something definitely worth adding.
Just see how close you are to the end.
Yeah, specifically for that 30 check run. Just have maybe a dragon count and a check run. I think those 2 things would really be a good addition for these flags and what they're trying to do with this run. I think this is a fun run. These are seeds I'm gonna grab onto these flags and definitely run them with my group, because it'd be it's different. It's something fun to try, and one of the best things about this randomizer is how much variety you can really throw into the runs.
Oh yeah, and like you were mentioning earlier, there's so many flags that it's almost impossible to have like a solid knowledge on all of them, and you're just always discovering something new.
Yeah. Well, and I'm so glad that I started playing this early in the pandemic. I mean, like playing the randomizer earlier in the pandemic, and I'm so glad to see that it's grown up over that time too. That it's evolved, and I think it's the timing with everything was perfect, because we saw that you can actually run this in Archipelago now. So we're doing multi-world. Okay, Repo Man Vaporite. That'll be an easy one. We're doing multi-world runs of this, which are a blast. It's changed everything for us, because instead of racing, now we're working together. So the conversations we're having while running it have changed. So instead of being a little bit more cryptic, now we can be open about, hey, I found this, I did this, I got this, and it's. It just adds another great way to play this randomizer, which is it's my favorite to play. And I think one other, like I'm a little little biased because it's my favorite game of all time, but this and the Super Metroid randomizers to me are two of the best.
Oh, agreed. I mean, honorable mention to Link to the Past, obviously.
Yes. Well, I mean, the fact that they paired up Super Metroid and Z3, like that becomes an amazing run.
Yeah, I've been in this randomizer community since before 1.0's release.
Okay.
Definitely during the pandemic.
I'm gonna make a hard guess that your gamer name of choice is definitely related to this gaming series.
Oh, well, I mean, no.
Speaking
Of course, yeah.
we're about to see your namesake appear on Lunar. There it is. There is Sid appearing.
Not my favorite Sid, but
no,
it's
the
my
banana
favorite Final
suit
Fantasy
Sid.
Sid. Yeah, he's kind. Definitely mixed opinions about him. Is war criminal, of course.
Yes.
Also a doting grandfather.
Yes. Well, and one of the most brutal. Like, I didn't realize how dark that scene was until I was an adult and replayed it later the road, and I was like, oh, this is real dark.
Mm-hmm.
This is very dark. Like, if you either succeed or fail. Oh, do we have someone? Oh, I don't know if we have a rager, but that's I believe it's a stray cat, right? Or was?
It's a wild cat.
No, that was not a stray cat. No,
almost. Yeah, the island with Sid, I never actually failed in many of my playthroughs through that, and it was far later that I realized that the failure is honestly probably the canonical ending to that storyline.
Yes, yeah.
The way it's set up.
I don't think. Yeah, I definitely don't think they intended on people saving it. That just happens to be a meme if you can save Sid, and you were doing it consistently apparently. But
is the logical, like, I'm sure I had Prima Guide or all the different strategy guides at the time.
Yeah,
I really thought about, like, grab the fast fish, save Sid. It's not like I was speedrunning it. Just take as many fish as it needs. We're gonna save this banana guy.
No, it's crazy if you watch Brenda like dying and how he fishes. It's just because they're looking at their time saves are so important across a 5-hour run.
Yeah, the set it and forget it method that we don't allow for races is probably the funniest one. Or if you just trigger it and fly away, like, he's gonna die. Like a 2 or 3 minute timer.
Oh, hey, look what we've got here. Lunar has found a third dragon. It was something I had to check and just make sure, because I know the New Year's time for China just does set at a different time, but we are still in the year of the dragon. So perfect that we're running this dragon hunt seed for the fundraiser this fall. Hope that these two are trying for that submission. I think this would be a great run to add to that, and the plan to raise money for the trans life community, definitely a cause that we need to support. So, and there's
absolutely.
And it's great that there's plenty of things built into this that the community will be able to bid towards, like their character choices to start the game, and their starting gold total will be 2x what the total donations that come in are. So they could have a really rough starting gold total. We've seen really cheap Ragnaroks in this one. That will not be the case if we get those nice donations in, which we need to make sure we do when and if and when this goes live.
Hey, you don't want to make it too easy for the runners.
No, absolutely not. I'm a bit of a masochist. I like when I watched Super Metroid and we were in one of the boss events, there was an opportunity that you could have to fight 4 Ridleys, and I was like, yes, make that happen.
At the same time?
No, just all the bosses could be Ridley fights. So all difficult fights that you know.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, and it did happen at least once during that tournament. So I just unfortunately didn't get to watch that one live. But Yeah, Lunar is in really good shape here. DPS is in great position. Gonna get through these checks pretty quick. As now Saber is now hitting his first dragon fight here with that skull dragon we got on the floating continent.
I bet he is excited to see that dragon.
Yes,
Now we're 12 on Dragon 1.
Well, that's not as bad as the hour 12 first super missile pack I saw in one of the Super Metroid runs, which that was miserable for that player.
That's busting out some skills to try and make any sort of progression happen at that point.
Well, that was that tournament was specifically a high difficulty tournament and like very hard settings. So definitely meant to be a challenge. We just didn't expect it to be that much of a challenge. So, but the character loadout that Lunar started with was very good. It was a pretty solid loadout with we started with Edgar, Gao, and Mog. So some decent checks to start things off.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, it's the boss fight that turns into a little bit of a break. But Lunar's like, nope, I'm just charging through this. Oh, hey, look at that. An immediate pop.
Yeah, first one. We got a 5-second, which is the lowest possible.
How
The
about
highest
that?
possible is a minute or 50 seconds.
How about that Edgar with the offering and Atma weapon, dealing up 12,000 damage there? That's some solid DPS. We are happy to see.
Edgar is ready for this scene to be done. Just let's go.
Speaking
Hey,
of go. A check we will not go to unless we absolutely have to.
Is that Banjo?
Yes. Yes.
Excellent.
That is Banjo. We've got Tails, we've got Bowser, got Sonic as all the Sonic I think replaced who did Sonic replace? Merchants.
Well, gotta go fast, I guess.
Go fast or go home.
Yep. No dawdling around the merchant inventory. Ooh, samurai fight on the... I don't think I saw that earlier.
I don't love me some samurai fights. They always annoy me because I swear I always take the worst possible hits in those fights every single time.
You can go sideways very quickly with samurai. Where you take the retaliatory killing blow.
Yeah,
And also,
yeah.
like full party magic spells.
Yep, not a fun thing at all.
Fun fights in the opera house, though. Would you pronounce that moose or muse? I never really knew. Doesn't come up often.
No, it does not.
Easy fight regardless. Gonna fly through that.
Yeah, especially with the damage that Lunar's doing right now. This is kind of just if Lunar were in a normal situation and it was like a 9-6, or it was if we needed more espers, he'd be on a specific esper hunt. Damage wise, he's there. Look at this cast of characters on the stage. We got 2 Sonics. We got a lone wolf, an extra lone wolf hanging out, a palette swap lone wolf at that. We got Tails. And we've got the actual Maestro there, and Shardanuk is our enemy of choice. So quick little break in the action as he waits for the painting to switch over to the demon side.
That's 2 time delay bosses in a row.
Yes. Meanwhile, we're going to see Leader absolutely get destroyed here by SabreWolf.
Low health Bowser sprite. I can't even.
Yeah, I know. It's so it's outstanding.
I haven't seen that one yet.
This is like that's something I love. Something else I love about the community, just the characters we've seen slip in. Of course, I am and have been pushing for there being a 16-bit version of Vincent Valentine in the mix because, well, obvious reasons. Little bias about wanting that one.
Can't relate at all.
That may or may not be why I did have a friend who at least designed me a couple to have as emotes, but
still waiting for that Dirge of Cerberus remake. Come on, Square. You can do it.
I so badly want to remake this into a remake this on Unreal Engine, and there'd be so much you could do with the just taking the music from this into full orchestral scores. Oh, so this is some of my favorite music in a video game ever as well.
Oh, it stands the test of time for sure. Like it holds up against modern games.
I actually spent I was a music major and my music technology was my master's. I was a band director. Oh, we got fixed dice, got offering and fixed dice, so that's an option if needed. But I don't think Lunar needs to worry about that at this point. But as I was saying, I like my master's is in studio and video game audio, so audio design for video games is something I love, something I've been passionate about for a long time. I've been teaching marching band and arranging for that for a long time. I've learned to play most of the themes of this on marimba at some point, just so I can, because of how much I love it. And I actually played Kefka's theme on marimba as part of my senior recital.
Nice. That was my go-to. I was also a percussion, not a major, minor, just college marching band for funsies in high school.
Excellent.
20 years of percussion. I'd kill for a home marimba. Nice rosewood.
Yes. They're so expensive though. Like, and unfortunately, under and rosewood is impossible to get anymore. The companies that have it are pretty much the only ones who have it because they did not do enough to replant the trees, which is a cause we need to fix. And as musicians, there's some, we have Brazilian rosewood still available, but we need to take better care of our planet. Oh, and speaking of offerings, Lunar just gets another offering from doing that.
Just cause.
Coliseum fight. And we'll immediately go into Searching the Skies, another just quick free check to go into. We have a lot of characters unlocked with 11, so almost all the checks are available. And hey, look what we got here.
Another dragon.
It's Dragon 4. Dragon 4. All right.
Lunar might not need the pity unlock.
No, especially since those 4 Atma weapon hits just took down that dragon like it was nothing.
What dragon? I didn't see any dragon.
There wasn't. There were only 4 lights. No, that dragon is gone.
Maybe a calmness protection. In rare.
All right. Speaking of, nice call. Calmness protection, definitely something we're happy to get for those of you that aren't sure what I'm talking about there. Calmness, the 3rd tier of the Kefka fight, the boss's death trigger is to cast an ability called Calmness, which can immediately take one of your characters out.
The real trick to getting a call like that is to just do it every single time. This is going to be Fenrir. It'll happen eventually.
So Lunar is at 21 checks, but is YOLOing into the castle right now, or YOLOing into Kefka's tower right now. For any reason, that might be because there's the Inferno fight, there's the 2 dragons, and there's the toilet weapon, as I love to call him, that are some more checks that you can quickly get through. And if one of those happen to be dragon number 5, then it's complete go mode for Lunar.
Yeah, 4 chances for the dragons. Not bad at all. And I don't know if the dragons increase the check count on this one, but the ammo weapon and the Inferno sure do.
The kneeling Bowser is just amazing.
There's a lot of love and care that went into that sprite.
That's definitely doing it right. Just correctly putting the Moogle charm on Mog just because.
Yeah. It's saying that the check counts are increased by dragons. That's what, 25? If you don't get your dragon here, you're still massively increasing that.
Yeah, you're still pretty. Yeah, that's a big jump, and then you're very close.
Oh, Lunar, at this point, I don't think you need to worry about armor. You can probably just go with a Edgar that doesn't really care about what you're going up against. You're not in Doomgaze range.
And now we have an Ultros that's going to get completely messed up. See, the tentacle fight is actually just Ultros after that just happened to him.
Just a casual 20k damage.
Oh, yeah, that's fair and balanced, right?
Yeah. 1/3 of Final Kefka's health. I appreciate SabreWolf not skipping Magitech 3, especially since there's a dragon there.
Yes, going to be rewarded with not skipping that and making that play.
Like
I know
lot
that
of runners skip it.
So for me, I skip it when this is a check that if I have it and I need 2 espers, I come and do this check immediately. And do those 2, but that's only if it's like the last 2 espers I need, and I know it's a great place to, like, your chances of getting esper off of those 2 checks are extremely high. The last one we know is almost always, like, it's a much higher character chance, so I save it and make it a thing. We have not seen our restreamer, one free Fritz, who thank you for taking care of this and getting us rocking, has pointed out that we have not seen a lot of the super high level bosses. We have not seen any of the statues. And the scaling of this can be pretty rough. Lunar is maxed on the scaling, where he is not. Fenrir is not only Calmness Protection, but also teaches level 3 spells, which, good lord.
Just level 3 everything.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
That Fenrir in the sky. Ooh. Oh no. Run away.
Run away, run away.
I wonder if the Banjo sprite has Kazooie with low health.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I don't think we'll get a chance to see it. Anything that hits that Banjo is likely going to take Banjo out.
Yes, sadly. Toilet weapon incoming. All right. What do we got? Oh my gosh.
Dragon. Oh, God. Of course it is.
Wow. Wow. Yep. So this was 1,000,000% the correct play here.
SabreWolf is in trouble.
Yes, definitely. Had a really rough start, and really it's something that I've as I run this more, realize that the first like 20 minutes really sets up the rest of the race. And if you can, oh no, Para just got wiped out.
Gogu, you got any items?
He only has Mimic. So yeah,
Yep, that's a reset. Wouldn't even wait to the Quake to have gone off if you just have a Mimic Go-Go. It's not doing anything.
Yeah, those level 50 scaled dragons, they're gonna pack a punch.
Fortunately, did the Inferno check first on that side, so the save helps a ton there. Not
Yes.
losing a whole lot of time.
Yeah, in the grand scale of things or scheme of things, that's not nearly as problematic as it could be.
Surprised we're doing this, Dragon.
Maybe taking a chance, because if it was one of the other dragons, then maybe it's a fight he feels a little bit more confident with versus.
There's just so many doozies left in the pool.
I know. We haven't seen any of the statues, which are always never something you want to see. I know the number of times I've played seeds. Like I had a seed a couple weeks ago that was completely locked behind Goddess, and it was very early on in the seed that I walked into her, and I'm like, oh, just great. But
please not be scaled high enough for love token. That's always what I'm saying when I see Goddess early. Because she has love token, you just charm or whatever.
Yep, especially if you're not ready. So as our restreamer has caught for us and was looking at the flags, we will see all the statues. We have shuffled statues on, which that means that the statues will be it will be kind of like the boss shuffle in if you've ever watched a Metroid. So they'll be in their natural positions, but they'll be level 50 scaled. So what they can cast will be kind of rough. When we see that Lunar's Terra is 46, Ultima's in the mix, Goner's in the mix, a lot of the super high damage items. A Fallen One is in the mix. We can see Fallen
nasty.
One. Yeah. It's kind of like the one of the challenge seeds that was out there recently. Once you hit a certain number of checks, Fallen One would just automatically be cast.
I actually don't mind French Vanilla statues all that much, because if you have any sort of elemental shielding or like a Minerva and an offering like they do, you can pretty much handle just about anything they throw at you. Outside of the Ultimas and the Goners and the Fallen Ones.
All right, I got to say this because I can, but right now we've got double dragon going on. Oh, another Quake counter. That's probably okay. Yeah, I like the drain here. This is a solid plan to save Terra's health. And the Fenrir, this means that physical attack that absolutely wrecked him last time will not get there.
Great heads up. Which of these dragons would be Billy?
I don't know. I don't know who I'd vote for there.
Like the Dirt Dragon.
Yeah, probably.
Dirt Dragon would be Billy.
So we did have double dragon, but SabreWolf takes down is off the yeeting yourself off the cliff move that Saban likes to do. And I believe that was a crack, and that means Lunar has now triggered the Kefka's Tower unlock. So for those of you that maybe don't know or haven't run this game, this and the Atma weapon that's kind of fitting that the toilet Atma weapon reward was an Atma weapon. If you don't run this randomizer, don't know what that means, that to finish the game, you have to unlock Final Kefka. If you don't do that, there's a point where you go to try to unlock the doors, and you are unable to, because it just kind of says, hey, no, you've not done what you need to do to open it. In some ways, it's somewhere if you're familiar with Super Metroid, you kill the 4 bosses to open the golden statues to move on. It's just the requirement for getting to that point. And Lunar's taking this fight on too. Interesting.
Maybe thinking short on levels?
Maybe, and maybe just thinking, I'm just going to run into tunnel armor anyway. Whatever. I can just bolt 3 this thing out of the industry.
Yeah. I guess just hitting A would be overkill on the attack.
Quad 9 damage there on poor tunnel armor.
Oh, opts for the swings anyway.
Yep. There's a big old Ragnarok hit for 7k. And another Minerva in the mix. Okay.
Just in case you weren't prepared enough for statues.
Lunar did not do the Coliseum play, so Lunar didn't have a Minerva. So now, yeah, this is the area. If we didn't have the skip, we would go to try to walk through this door, and it would not let us. But we do have everything done. So Lunar will be able to walk right through, make that Guardian fight, and then we will see the sweet statue shuffle.
At level 44, I'd almost be tempted to use the Atma weapons over Ragnarok.
It's pretty. It's we're there, right? Like,
especially with an offering.
Well, I know that's the Edgar plan. I think, like, that's what Edgar's doing, is offering with Atma weapon. I think maybe on Terra, because it's his main caster, Ragnarok is the correct play for all the immense amount of stat boosts that you get there, right? Like,
I think Locke and Gao have Ragnaroks as well. I was debating putting an Atma weapon on the Locke.
Well, Locke is his. If Locke is his Magitech user, he might be just thinking, you know, because that it does increase all of that damage. So, yeah, I will agree with our restreamer here who's mentioned Saber has done an incredible job of recovering and catching up. I mean, look at this. Look at the count. 10 characters, 8 espers already. You know, 3 of the dragons down. So really, really nice job of fighting back after a very, very, very rough start with a lot of deaths and resets. But as you know, Sid, I'm sure you can agree with this. Like this you can feel comfortable. You can feel like everything's going right. Absolutely. And then just your world crumbles on just the wrong check. And you're just like, how did this happen? And you could potentially be feeling confident and not have taken a safety save recently. And suddenly you lose maybe 10, 20 minutes of playtime.
Happens more often than I'd like to admit.
Speaking of, this is nightmare fuel for me seeing Magimaster. One of my earlier seeds and one of the times that I felt the most like absolute miserable while playing this was Magimaster with an ultimate trigger at the end of Let River, and I was in, and that was my only save file, and that was one of the.
That's rolling new seed at that point.
Yeah, that was a seed of the week challenge that I was like, well, I guess I guess I'm out of this one. So, and this Magimaster has taken a beating and is still just like, yep, I'm here. By the way, just letting you know that. Throws a Merton out there, but Edgar is just absorbing it all. Oh, hey, look what Saber found.
The dragon number 4.
That was Shadow's Velt Cave check. That's a dragon we haven't seen. So, meanwhile, Saber again being quite a bit behind from that early game. His Edgar's just casually doing 10k damage.
Honestly, if I was SabreWolf right now at 4 dragons, an hour and a half in, like these dragon hunts can go sideways easily. I'd actually feel fairly comfortable. like obviously looking in LunarChimera's got a 20-minute lead maybe at this point. 15,
Yes.
20?
Yeah, because with him already there, not like unless there was a quick way to randomly just skip to the statues, but we've got Goddess already down for Lunar. And Edgar is powering through. Goddess can be a difficult fight, but when you have a Atma weapon dealing that much damage,
SabreWolf's going to need basically a really wonky tier 2 and 3 for LunarChimera. Have a wipe to have a chance to recover some ground.
yeah, and obviously that's something that we will never hope for something like that. But yeah, that is Saber's only hope. We always want to see the runners have their best runs and their best times through seeds. We never want to see anything go sideways for them. I mean, it definitely happens, but this game can be a cruel mistress at times.
With the loadout that Lunar's rocking, I think it's probably going to be about a 6.5 minute Kefka fight.
Yes, I would agree. Well, and the thing is, Lunar's also in a great place right now where, if need be, he can do a pretty major item shift and get his characters ready to handle this battle. We saw his lock is pretty well set and is gonna do some nice damage in this Magitech armor.
These are the most expensive sleeping bags I think I've ever seen. They're like 7K a pop.
That's rough. That's really rough. And that's an item I always load up on just because it's so quick to heal up with those versus like for me, I've felt doing 4 of those has always been a little bit easier and faster than doing a tent.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow just got
the optimized
blasted.
route, doing the sleeping bags over the tents.
I mean, obviously the best is you just randomly find cheap elixirs, and then you have walking sleeping bags, which are even better.
I like to try and route in heal checks after, like, if my health is really low, like I can probably go over to the waterfall and get a free heal, or I can go over to Doma Castle and probably beat it and get a free heal out of it.
Especially early game, and we see that Saber is going to yeet his way into KT. So we'll at least have both characters will at least make this play, and Saber will find that 5th dragon in the tower. But
2 of the 4 checks are.
We'll see if he finds the 5th dragon before. No, we'll definitely find the 5th dragon before Lunar gets to that final battle. Having 10 characters, like I don't know about you, but 10 characters going into KT just feels like an embarrassment of riches sometimes. Like number of times I just get there and I have the minimum. I'm like, okay, I've got 7 characters. Or I've got this super low loadout, so I really don't have any like Moogle Charm carriers in the party. I just gotta roll with what I got.
I'm happy if I can have at least 1 freebie character in each party for Moogle Charms. Otherwise, it's well, your equipment's getting shuffled around. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this okay, yeah, Locke having that flame shield on right now is coming in clutch with this being Poltergeist. Otherwise this Merton would be a ton of damage. Instead, it's a giant heal or and
I hadn't heard that one before.
That's new for you? All right.
That one's new for me.
All right. That's one we've been using in my community for a long time. That's I actually can't take the credit for that. That is that's actually from one of my community members who's a boiled shrimp. Got to throw that out there. He's the one that said that a long time ago, and I've carried it with me ever since because that's we obviously as you play this more, you you find your things in your little community, you build your niche inside jokes, but a ton of damage has been one we've had carried for a while.
That one just sneaks up on you.
Like, well, Merton strats sometimes just randomly sneak into the mix for you. Oh, hey, I just randomly found a place with red jackets, and, you know, I've got a flame shield. All right, let's go.
It's my favorite Worlds Collide strat, Merton.
You know, mine too. Like as far as casting goes, mine too. Just because it's so much fun. And yeah, let's sell us. We're hoping on Celis getting this done, getting Saber pushed. Oh, look at that! We got the crack.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly,
let's go.
That looked like an easier time than Lunar had.
Yeah. Well, and first time through, where Lunar had a reset there, and Saber did not. So, yep. Final Kefka complete for Saber, and gets rewarded with that extra Atma weapon. Just totally unnecessary at this point.
Add it to the pile.
Quickly moves that sleeping bag up there, and good idea right now, getting that ready to go to cut down on the menuing time. To me, KT, being in KT, it's like as someone who also does, you know, I do a lot and involved in the Super Metroid community a lot. When you're in your Mother Brain fighter, you're down there in Turian, you're always looking for that dot done for your opponent. KT for me is the same thing here. It's like as soon as I'm here, I'm always looking for that dot done. I'm just waiting to find out. I'm like, okay, I hope I'm close. I hope I'm ahead. But you never know, and you never know what your opponent has went through. You never know the different things that could happen, and you know, in these randomizers, crazy things can happen, and you're just not prepared for it. You know, some of these fights can go very awkwardly, but you know, you just got to hope that you can keep pushing and keep fighting and get through as fast as possible. And then all of that, you can feel like everything is going great, and you can get to those statues for the tiers for Kefka, the final Kefka fight, and everything can go to a heck in a handbasket.
Sometimes the statues have other plans.
Very, very true.
Ooh, Doom's in the aura phase. Watch out.
Welcome.
Here.
Welcome to chat if you're just joining in. As just a recap, we are on some really fun seeds. This is a run that SabreWolf and Luma are going to be submitting for the Fall Final Fantasy VI, or Fall Fantasy VI. We are doing the Year of the Dragon Hunt, which both characters have done the requisite of killing 5 dragons. We've seen 2 Opera House moments in this seed. A nice fun thing they threw in. You see all these fun furry sprites. We've had we got Tails leading the party. We got a Sonic. We got plenty of just great classic characters hanging around. We got a palette swap Lone Wolf over there. But these guys are going to be running this and going into that. Hopefully, going into that fall run for charity that will be going to the Trans Life non-for-profit. So definitely a good cause to get that money rolling to, and we're getting close as Lunar is getting ready for that that Kefka fight. Sid, what is your mindset as you approach this moment? Like, what are you thinking about? What are you checking on? What are you trying to make happen and be ready with?
Usually I want to make sure that my Magicites are assigned in such a way that, one, I don't have them on like an X-Magic only user or the Fenrir user. And I have tier 2 and tier 1 and 3 basically covered for what I can. Equipment-wise, honestly, optimum actually across the board and just hope for the best. Maybe make sure Minerva stays equipped.
Yes, because it will randomly switch like some other armor sometimes if you're not paying attention.
Yeah, the Genjis like to sneak in there.
Yes. I mean, they're great armors. They're just not, Minerva. But Yeah, I mean, I have that same thought process. Let's make sure I'm item optimized, and I'm checking for my my espers that can auto take out the physical and non-immune. So in that tier one, the right hand can get taken out. In tier 2, the middle body, the factory can be taken out through a cleave effect like Sword Tech 8 or Odin. Those can take.
X-Zone.
Yep. Then I'm also looking for Siren if I have it. If I don't have Mute to cast, because Mute can take out magic in that second tier, and that's obviously huge.
If you feel real spicy, you can cast Berserk on hit. Technically, it is vulnerable to Berserk. It like doubles his damage.
Speaking of Berserk, I usually reserve that for the fight happening on the left side of the screen here.
Yep.
Speaking of, love that we've got the classic red versus blue going on here with Wolf and Lunar here.
Opting to use Doom instead of the Expert from Magitech.
Oh, no! Saber takes a hit, and Magimaster takes down Saber there.
Hopefully the save's not far behind.
I mean, definitely took it after the, oh yeah, that is this Inferno fight. So
yeah.
it was literally
Let's
right
do the
before
dragon
this.
again.
Oh no. That's a rough wipe.
That is like a mind game, because Guardian's usually the safe first save spot for the statues, but you don't have to take Guardian first. You can do the other ones.
Yeah, but
SabreWolf knows the statues are actually statues.
Yes, but we know this. Things can happen, and we hadn't seen Magimaster, and that's one of those ones where you can just randomly run into, and the worst can happen, especially with the level of scaling that we're dealing with. Like, you could run into something horrible like Fallen One followed by Goner or something like that, and just like, oh, yep, okay.
I was surprised SabreWolf actually didn't take the save at the Atma weapon spot, or the Atma toilet.
Yeah, a little bit shocking. Speaking of, hey, there's Lunar rocking that Siren Esper, about to shut up that magic in the back, that part of the statue on the back side.
About the only time you ever see an enemy cast Life 3 is magic right there.
And you see Doom taking out that second part. So now just has 2 parts of the statue that are active threats and able to kind of just casually deal with the backside when necessary. But always want to kill that tiger head first. And why is that, Sid?
Because he's so mean. A lot of different status elements can be cast from the tiger head, including freeze, which will just lock your party in place. I believe it can zombify you.
Yep.
Which is awful.
Yeah, it can do some really ugly things, and you just want to make sure that you're cognizant of that. And if you kill it first, it has a really bad death trigger a lot, so it will trigger one of the high-end things that we don't want to deal with. So getting rid of it first means it will not trigger when it dies.
I think just about every runner's experienced a North Cross that hit all 4 party members. You just sit there and take it.
Yep, and you hope they just randomly cast fire in your team.
Or your offering Valiant Knife user got confused.
Oh, I don't think you've played enough of this until that's happened to you. Like, I feel like everyone has had that happen once, and worse, I had it with it wasn't just offering Valiant Knife; it was Genji Glove double Valiant Knife offering that happened to me. I was like, yep, okay.
Back to the buttons. Try it again.
Well, and the worst part is I know it did enough lethal damage to the enemy party to take them out as well. but it wiped all of us out in the process. So I'm like, oh.
It's a mutually assured destruction.
Yes, yes.
So we got 2 frozen members. Terra recovering from zombie. Yeah, tier 2 is not being kind today to Lunar.
No, not at all. I mean, again, the scaling can be rough when you're looking at that level of spells, and some of the effects can really, really hit hard, and something you hope you can avoid. But it's getting 10 hits now, so we are getting one of the death triggers.
And they can't block when they're frozen.
Nope, and this always, like, the number of times that 10 hits is, like, put me in kind of just a rough spot where I'm like, oh, like, thank God everything else is still alive, so I have a chance to recover a little bit before I move on. Meanwhile, we're getting a chicken ultimate out of the industry. And the funky chicken will go down.
Nothing to it. One of the things I have to be careful with on tier 2 is not just going all out on damage, because occasionally you'll kill magic before hit, and they'll have their death triggers at the same time, and magic will do quarters on the whole party, and then 10 hits is scary, scary, scary.
Yeah, that's exactly, like, that has happened too many times to me. But there it just gets when you get an 8 hit of Atma weapon swinging Edgar at once, that's going to do some damage. I was going to want to heal that up now, with that being his Atma weapon user, as we move on to tier 3.
Yep, sometimes tier 3 just doesn't know if you got quartered going into it.
Yeah, could randomly start off with the worst thing possible here.
Yep. Go directly to jail. Do not pesco.
Do not collect 200 gold pieces.
Yeah, 200 gold pieces, not a whole lot of gold pieces in the Final Fantasy economy.
No. It's definitely more like a there was that one economy that had like a $500,000 bill. It's kind of what this economy feels like.
Zimbabwe?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
When your money gets hyper, the value is next to nothing. Oh, Terra's got a death timer. And Saber has to take another reset. Hopefully we had a more recent save.
Yeah. I believe he saved after the goddess fight.
We have not been reared yet, and yep, we're getting a calmness. And a block? Oh,
Yeah,
and a single calmness. All right. Never worried, right?
Just block calmness forehead.
Yeah, that's just what you're supposed to do every time. Just block calmness, and then it just doesn't even matter, right? Now we're going to see Edgar absolutely tear apart this clown. Kefka's about to get clowned by that double Atma weapon offering Genji glove to Edgar.
How much health do you think is too much health?
Everything plus everything that I possibly need that I take damage wise, +1 is all I need. Something I learned from playing Magic Gathering a long time ago. I can lose 19 life, but as long as I still have 1, I live. In this thing, as long as I still have 1 and Kefka dies, it doesn't matter. So,
Health is just a resource.
Life is a resource.
Yeah.
And health is a resource in this game. And yeah, we're just watching, casual, but 8 times, it's like just casual next to almost 40k there. And we're going to see it crack very soon. There's a hyperdrive counter. There's probably going to go down. Yep. But
just watch out for the ultimate. Well, Edgar can eat an ultimate. Edgar can eat 2 ultimates.
Yeah, gets this hit in time. And when we're done with all these animations of this hit, we are going to see the final crack of Kefka here in just a second. There it is. Get your GGs in chat. Lunar finishes and is our winner at the 1 hour 56 minute mark. definitely had a very good early time in this, and it showed, and was able to power through. And that Edgar was absolutely a monster there, swinging with all those hits.
I mean, considering the first dragon was near the first hour mark,
Yeah,
like that's still a great time. Sub 2 hours.
yeah, completely agree. Just doing a great job pushing through and getting moved forward and not being stuck light years behind, or feeling. And Lunar, once he got that dragon in and started getting, just made a lot of great decisions, and going into the tower when he did, and guessing, hey, I've got 4 checks up there. There's a really high possibility I'm going to hit a dragon. And he did. And, was able to get there pretty quick. I mean, Sabre made that same decision, but just unfortunately had a really difficult early game that left him behind. But we even see, here's, yes, Lunar's done, but Sabre is at the statues. So wasn't terribly far behind considering a very, very difficult start.
Doom going down now to Ultima. Yeah. Even the pace that SabreWolf's going on, is excellent.
Considering
these seed.
Yeah, considering these flags and the fact that we had to do an opera, which, that in itself is a big time eater. But
about 5 minutes for an opera, and gosh, I'm not even sure off the top of my head how many bosses are in 6. There would possibly be a dragon spot plus the 8 dragons.
Total checks, I don't know off the top of my head, but it's definitely
It's a lot.
There's a lot of potential locations, and sometimes you get certain characters, and you got your mind just suddenly goes, okay, that's where I'm going to go. That's what I want to do, and you might lock yourself into a strategy that is not the winning strategy. It's definitely happened.
Mm. The best part about randomizers. Sometimes you think you're going great, and it's like, oh no, that was not the path to go.
Randomizer's going to randomize. Like, just... Sabre will finish this out. I don't blame him. No reason not to just keep fighting here. But we are now joined by Lunar. Lunar is our race winner with this run. Lunar, how's it going?
Not too bad. This one felt pretty tame compared to a few that we've done of these for practicing.
Yeah, Sabre mentioned that one of the seeds, he opened a chest and suddenly fiery chicken. Like,
yeah, I wasn't part of that one, but I heard that too, and he said it was like 8 minutes of looting in and found it, and I was like, oof, that's never fun.
That's the KFC special.
That's a rough early reset. That's not a fun time. So, how did you feel about the early game for you? Because that's if you watch this back, you'll see the early game was really the big difference here.
Like I said, it overall the seed felt tame. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. Like there was a little bit of everything, so it was an okay start. Could have been faster, could have been slower.
You chose to stay on a couple of fights that I think were a big help to you. You stayed in that the frog fight, and you made your way through that one. That was a huge help. Just everything you did to get that early experience, I think, made a massive difference for you.
Yeah, the frog fight I really debated because I was like, if they jump, is it going to kill me? And then they fell and only did like 30 damage, and I was like, okay, we're good. I'll make it through this.
They're preemptively holding down run. Like, maybe.
Just hoping. Hope against all hope. Oh, yep, the check of shame by Sabre there before heading to this goddess fight. But just like you, we'll have Edgar swinging Atma weapons at that goddess. Your Edgar was absolutely crushing at the end there.
Yeah, I was debating putting the second Atma offering on somebody else, but I was like, no, I have Ragnaroks. I'll just throw them both on Edgar, and Gao couldn't use weapons anyway, so I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, I actually brought that up. I was thinking maybe you were going to slap Atman on your lock with an offering.
Like I said, I thought about it, but the Ragnaroks were doing 5,000 plus, so I was like, I'll just keep those and just double Atmas on Edgar and go for it.
Yeah, that made your Kafka kind of a free. That was
yeah. As long as I didn't get hit by calmness, because I realized I had gone all in before I put my calmness protection up, and I was like, well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and you got an amazing block on that trigger. I was like, wait a minute. I was worried. I'm like, oh no, Kefka's about to.
Right, I hit it, and then I was like, oh wait, I forgot to do Fenrir.
Yeah, because that could have went sideways quickly. That could have been like the number of times I've taken a double calmness hit there and just like.
Yeah,
and I swear every time it's always on my highest DPS character when it happens, just every single time.
Oh, the game knows.
Right, if it was Edgar, that would have made that fight a lot different. I still think it would have been pretty quick because everything was set up pretty well, but Edgar being there in that final round, just like as long as he went twice, it was done.
You had just outstanding item loadouts when you got to that point. Like the Ragnaroks for sale for 2,000 gold. Come on.
Right, that was like the dream. I walked in there and I was like, wait, cheap rags, let's go.
Just hold up by an indiscriminate number.
I thought about getting more, but I looked and I was like, only 3 people can really equip them anyway. So I was like, whatever. And we didn't have any way to throw.
Surprisingly, with 11 characters.
All right, I just gotta point out. Oh, Wolf forgot something, but Wolf's about to start this start this tier run with under 8 minutes later after an extremely rough start. So Wolf really did an amazing job fighting back in this seed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like I said, this one for me was fairly tame. We've had some that I would say our average is about 2 hours and 15 minutes on these, so he's not far off of that anyway. Because he's had a couple that ran longer, but in general, I think we're finishing about 2 hours.
Yeah, unfortunately, Saber took a few just early rough deaths or restarts that you, because you pushed through with the extra experience early, some of the fights you got to, you were first time through where Saber had to do extra resets. By the way, just got to point out, I love Ridley as the sprite here for Kefka. We get this, especially when he turns his head here. Yeah. My second favorite game villain in Ridley there.
Yeah, we were trying to think of good sprites for all of these, and we're like, well, what can we do? And then we were like scrolling through, and Saber was like, Ridley? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
Where did, you guys sat down and designed these flags in this race together. Like, where did the inspiration for this come from?
Honestly, we were just kind of looking through and like, what would be fun? What sounds fun? Because originally we were going to do a different objective. I can't even remember what we were going to do now. I think we were debating between this and Iron Mog, so no saving, and something like slightly easier. So that way, if you died, you could still reset, and as long as you kept track of where you were getting stuff from, you could get back in really fast. There would have been a lot, like I said, it would have been a lot simpler, but it still would have been something that was like balanced, but higher risk reward type of deal. Yeah,
that could go very. That could just turn into a nightmare out of nowhere.
Right. That's why we were kind of like, well, let's try something a little bit more consistent.
Well, I don't know if Iron Mog's marathon's safe.
We had a crazy thing happen in one of our seeds a long time, and this clip still exists, where someone was randomly walking through Narsh later in the game. It was trying to take a couple fights to help unlock a paladin shield, ran into were rats and got zombit for quad 9s.
No.
Just crazy things that can happen to this. Yeah, and you know, one of the things we're doing in one of our seeds is, and by the way, Lunar, I just got to throw this out there. You had a blitz user, you fought the train, and you did not suplex the train.
Did I fight I don't remember fighting the train.
Was it safe or did? Oh well, I know someone saw the train and there was no suplex. I was very disappointed.
I didn't fight the train as far as I can remember.
Okay, it might have been SabreWolf. So maybe we got to give SabreWolf a hard time for not having a. That's actually one of the flags sets I'm building. Unlocking Blitz is suplexing a train.
I mean, that's a good one. We were debating other ones to throw in here. I think we're just going with the simpler ones, or we just went with the simpler ones because we already had a bunch of other stuff changed.
Oh, I mean, you've got some. The flags in this, I think they're great. The fact that you're going to have the character start as something that people would be able to bid on for the fundraiser, that your starting gold total will be something people, you know, based on the amount raised of the fundraiser. That's awesome. That's really a great. I think it's a great creative use of the flags to mix into the fundraiser idea and getting ready for that run.
I like that you chose basically the entire Saturday morning cartoon Sonic cast for the sprite list.
Yeah, I think we were getting towards the end, and we were like, who's left, and what do we have left that we can put in? We started looking through, like, well, there's everybody, and then I think Saber was like, well, we still have Sonic, and so we threw that on, like, the guards, or no, the guards were Yoshi. What did we throw
The merchants. Sonic's all the merchants.
Merchants, yeah. And so we were like, yep, everybody's in now. Let's go.
Saber purposely went to Albrook and ran through the inn to show us the tables full of Yoshis drinking.
Very nice. Yeah, I wish there was a Shadow sprite, because then we could have done Shadow as Shadow the Hedgehog instead.
Oh, missed opportunity, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
There isn't one made yet. Nobody's made it.
That's a call to action if I ever heard one.
There isn't Knuckles either. I don't remember seeing him.
That'd be Amaro, right?
Yeah. Oh, we ought to keep Mario, so it probably would have been Gao instead of Bowser. It would have been Knuckles.
Yeah, but the Bowser
or maybe Sabin.
The Bowser kneeling is just so perfect. Like,
right in the shell. The first time I saw it, I was like, "That's great. I love it."
although, as I said earlier, I selfishly want Vincent Valentine from Final Fantasy VII in as a sprite, but you know, I'm yet to get that one.
Well, they've got a Shadow and Sid sprites for Link to the Past, so maybe you'll get your Vincent Valentine one for
Someday. If anything, I might just have to.
Okay, I was gonna say I was joking around with Saber because I also do on occasion the Final Fantasy Mystic Quest randomizer. In that one, you can insert your own sprite. So I have one of my character for that I use there.
Nice.
It'd be great to put that in here. I could use it here then too.
Yeah, I may just have to finish the sprite sheet and submit it myself and be like, please, make this happen. I think it's a great thing you guys are trying to do. Trying to do this run for the fundraiser. I really hope you guys get selected. That'll be great for the community, great for the cause, and this is definitely a fun one to watch. So,
right,
it all works out.
What was it? 2021 was the last time that we got picked to actually be in the fundraiser. So, hopefully, we'll get it again this year. It'd be great.
I think I ran that one.
I think, yeah, it was you and Gar and me. It might have been. I can't remember if Saber ran that one or if Saber restreamed that one.
Actually ran into some trans lifeline booth at one of the conventions I went to a couple years ago. That I saw that run. It was talking about it. Like, I'm glad you enjoyed it. We raised some money for it.
There we've got our front statue doing a mere ton of damage there, but Edgar's life 3 in the party. Tara's healing us up, and he's getting ready to. It looks like life 3 is his calmness protection plan. Saw he does have Phantom Esper, but you can't count on that.
Yeah, Phantom's always hit or miss. The moment he uses a magic ability, you're just done.
I've managed to pull it off a few times. It's definitely the way to do it with Flare.
Is going for it here. I would have done it with Edgar queued up to attack. Because there's Merton. Again, doing a ton of damage too. Not really that bad here. Terra must have a ton of magic resist.
I know I found a couple, and I can't think of the name of the armor.
Minerva?
Yeah, a couple of Minervas. And I think only one person could equip them. That was the worst part.
I was
wondering.
That was something that early in the seed, Saber ran into Coliseum and turned a Ninja Star into a Minerva.
Just block Calmness forehead.
Both of you.
It was Bowser too.
Same spot. Yeah.
Yeah. Fourth slot. The total block on Calmness both times. So that's the strat that you hope for. Not the strat you're gonna get more often than not. But glad to see his whole party get here, and he doesn't have the 8 Edgar double at my weapon attack, but this will still be a pretty quick fight with Edgar doing 16,000 damage every time he attacks.
Yeah, and my favorite Calmness strat is when he double Calmnesses somebody who's life 3, because he just doesn't want them there.
And the game says no.
Yeah, that person isn't seeing Kefka. Just isn't.
I like the rare Palador strat for Calmness.
I feel like there was something else Sid and I were talking about. If the life 3 character doesn't get double Calmness, or if you haven't had, and what we talked about, your Valiant Knife Offering character get confused, you just haven't run enough of this game.
Oh, that was the one during my run on this one that I got single target, somebody got knocked down, and then somebody got confused and flared somebody else. And so I was just 2 down immediately, and I was like, what is going on?
I saw one time you were confused and you luckily took a low damage hit and got out of it real quick. Thankfully took a low damage hit and got out of it.
Yeah, there was that one, but like I said, there was another one where I definitely somebody went down, somebody got confused, and I'd already set up for flare, and they turned around and cast it on, I think it was on Gao, and took him out.
And there was that crack for Saber. Gets the finish. We're 18 minutes behind, considering that really rough start. Get those GGs in the chat for Saber. Really rough start, but I honestly, a great job fighting back after that very difficult beginning. The seed was not treating him nice at all at the start at all. Part of that for you had a lot of mitigation of that by just loading up on your extra levels that you grabbed early. All right, we are now joined in chat by Saber. Saber, GG.
I wish I could say GG, but that was horrendous, honestly.
Your start was really rough. Saber, that start was just kind of brutal for you. You took did not really get you didn't get out, didn't get to that comfortable early, didn't get any levels early, so it just made a lot of those early plays a lot more difficult for you.
Yeah, level 12, 50 minutes in, not fun. And 0 dragons after well over an hour of play, just not going anywhere at all. But I mean, GG for Lunar finding the right path after all. I mean, I just had no offense. The only offense I had was those 2 shields, and that's why I backed out, went to Opera House, tried to find a shield or something, and just to, be able to have something to use and maybe break 2 shields, and that didn't even work. Finally, I said, you know what? Maybe I try Latte River, get some levels there. Nope, retainers. I just anywhere I turn, it was just seemed to be the wrong choice. Until the end, where I got like 5 dragons in 15 minutes, which was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, you got them all at the same time.
You know, Lunar, I think your first dragon was what, an hour 12 in?
Yeah, it was something like that. Like I said, when Saber in our room chat, he said had 0 dragons in an hour 15. I was like, I don't think I got one until around there either. So
I think my first dragon was 1 hour 40 minutes in. I think maybe it felt like it.
Oh.
It was well over 90 minutes. Was first when I got my first dragon, and that was, I want to say it was the Ifrit Shiva Pit, maybe. That was my first dragon.
There was the tracks in Magitech Factory Escape. That was the red dragon. You
Red
saw
dragon,
Storm.
okay, yeah.
You saw Storm Dragon, which Lunar did not see.
Oh,
that was,
wow. Okay.
Yeah, if you watch back, you'll see. I think you guys faced 4 out of 5 of the same dragons, and you found Storm. There was another one Lunar found and got through. So, but you both
at the dragon spot.
Yeah, and you both made the same decision of going to Kefka's Tower with 4 dragons down, and both of you, you found that, yeah, in fact, there was a dragon there, and toilet weapon turned out to be Dragon 5 for both of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's logical. It's logical because, like, you get 4 dragon. When you have 4 dragons, there are like, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 5 opportunities for a dragon to be in Kefka's Tower, which is the most opportunities across anywhere in the game where that many opportunities for a boss / dragon chance. So at 4 dragons, like, you're just gonna die for Kefka because there's a high chance you're gonna get a dragon somewhere there. Which of course, as you said, it was on Toilet Atma. So that was, I mean, yeah. Once I got the first dragon under my belt, and okay, now I'm going somewhere. But literally, when your only offense is a flare, which you can't learn because you can't get any fights to learn it, is just god awful. The only other offense I found was possibly a fixed dice in Colosseum to go with the offering I had, maybe for sensor.
There were fixed dice for sale somewhere. I can't remember where. And I know I picked up Sky Renders and something else. There was another decent weapon that I found in one of the shops.
Yeah.
And then later I found Ragnaroks in Vector.
Yeah, there were Ragnaroks for sale for 2,000 gold. Yeah,
so cheap.
I just want to throw my headset now. I never went to the goddamn weapon shop. I just took the heel fight and just walked in straight into the facility.
Yeah, you were so close to it.
Yeah, I didn't do that one until like middle of the seed, so I didn't get them until then. So it was a lucky find.
Oh, and it just kind of like rounded things out for you. And then, ironically, I love the flavor of the toilet weapon giving you guys Atma weapon. I was like, okay, well that's some flavor.
Yeah.
The Saber, I was talking to Lunar about this, but while you were finishing up, but I really enjoy these flags and what you guys set up to put together for this submission and for that run.
Yeah, I think what hurt me the most, though, but we do appreciate that. We Lunar and I we worked almost like, I want to say, a week or 2, trying to figure out the flags we want to do, what to make it a little different, and making Dragon Hunt makes it a little different. A little more exciting because you don't know when the dragon's going to pop up, and just to the flavor of like having the sprites changed over to little furry creatures, just for the flavor of the Fastest First Fall Festival. I really like, that was a kind of a thing too. But going back to the run, I think I messed myself up by getting way too many checks, and that hammered me. I think because at that point I was at -5 levels, and when you go against -5 levels and the only choices to fight are Haydn, and I forgot what the other boss was, and your only offense you got is pummel, you're not going anywhere. So
I was I've had so many of those starts. I know exactly. Like it's rough when a situation like that. Like I had one where my whole seed was locked behind a goddess check at the like Edgar's first check was goddess, and my other characters were Gogo and Mog. I'm like, all right, awesome. I've just got nothing I can do. So, like, unfortunately, sometimes it's just those rough starts where you're like, okay, you hope things get better. You hope you find a way, but I know sometimes it feels like you're banging your head against the wall.
That's why I went to Opera House. I'm like, you know what? We need to take a minute. let's take a minute. Go to Opera House. Get hopefully an elemental shield, another elemental shield to break. Which I think I broke all my shields almost. That any shield I found just broke it. But that's why I said, you know what? Time out. Take a moment. Let's go to Opera House. We gotta do Opera House anyways because that's part of our KT unlock just as a showcase because we gotta do Opera House for the fans out there. But just take a moment to not do anything literally and just look at my checklist. Go, okay, where could I possibly go to get levels and maybe get a fight? And Letter River was the choice, which didn't work out completely, but I got through it. So.
Yeah, I like the idea that you kind of have that. And for me, I was like, that's almost kind of like a palate refresher in the middle. Like, okay, I can go do this, and like this is an opportunity for me to think about, okay, what have I done so far? What can I do from there? So, you know, and I know in vanilla speedrunners, that opera is it's one of the few times they get a break during a 5-hour run.
Yep. Yeah, especially after you get through the dance routine. When she gets on the balcony, that's when you can walk away for like a quick minute. So that one and Learning Bum Rush is the other nice one you can walk away from quick. So
Get about a minute each on those.
Yeah. And for me, the bathroom was right behind me, so it works out pretty good for me.
Doing those Kegels.
I got a fridge on my right and a bathroom behind me on the left. It's perfect.
Hey, when nature calls, you howl. I'm just saying, okay? But yeah, so GG Lunar. I think this might be one of the first days you beat me, buddy. I think. So
it's been a while.
you. Yeah. You're not gonna. I tell you what, it won't be the same next time if we do this real life. I will say that. I want revenge.
This is a practice.
Wow. Okay. You know what?
Doesn't count.
You know what? If you guys get selected, maybe we should just do a run up and have a couple. Do this 1 or 2 more times before the festival.
As long as we don't get the seat ahead this morning. So for those who don't know, I was practicing for the seat for today. After 1 hour and 55 minutes into the run, I had 0 dragons. 1 hour and 55 minutes. 0. One. I had 1 dragon at 1 hour 55 minutes into this run. I'm like, and the next character progression to find more things to do was Gao, who has absolutely no bosses. So I'm like, you know what? I think we're gonna call it. I'm gonna go lay down, take a nap. Okay. So let's hope maybe somebody out there could do a some venting. Make sure something like that doesn't happen. Okay. So yeah.
The next flag set's gonna be Oops All Dragons. Just every boss.
Oops All Dragons named Steve. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, but yeah, so submission run, Fastest First Fall Festival 2024. I hope we get in.